Hi guys, and welcome back to our channel. This is the Homework Help Show hosted by Homework Help Global, and my name is Cath Anne. I am the weekly host of the Homework Help Show. Today on the show, we have something really exciting for you guys, and I hope you'll be as excited as I am for it. I think it's going to be super fun. Today, we're testing our knowledge of the higher education system through a true and false quiz. How fun is that? It's been a little while since I've done any multiple choice or true and false questions, so I am really going to be put to the test here. So I hope you guys will join me, and make sure to let me know and let us know how many questions you get right. And I'll see how many I get right too. Okay, so let's jump into the questions. Now, I have seen these questions ahead of time. Don't worry, I haven't had enough time to do any research around them or anything like that. So I'm going in this only knowing the questions. So you're going to see my authentic reaction when I answer the questions. So let's jump in. Here we go. Okay, so question number 1. The average yearly cost of tuition is $6,600 Canadian, or $6,600 Canadian. Okay, let's think about that. I want to say that it's a little bit more than that. However, I'm thinking that I'm going to say true to this question because I feel like I'm thinking that if you lived on campus, it would be a little bit more. So let's go with true. $6,600 Canadian is the average tuition cost. Let's see the answer. Okay, so we were right. It is true. In 2017 and 2018, Statistics Canada reported that the average yearly tuition was $6,618 Canadian. So we were right on the money. We got it right. It was true. So just to compare, in 2017, average tuition was $23,000 in American four-year universities. Holy moly, that is a lot. So to break it down a little bit more, average tuition in the US in that year ranged from $8,700 in in-state public institutions all the way up to $29,000 in private nonprofit institutions. Oh my goodness, that is so much money to pay for an education. But education is valuable, so that's still a lot of money. Now, $6,600 Canadian might not sound like a lot. However, let's think about it a little bit more. In 2009, average Canadian tuition was $4,492 Canadian. So it has gone up a significant amount in only 10 years. And undergraduate programs in law, dentistry, and medicine have some of the highest tuition costs, whereas programs in math or business, their tuition costs are a little bit lower. So it definitely depends on which program you are intending to go into. Okay, now let's move on to question number 2. The average student spends about $700 on books annually. Let me think about that a little bit more. So I'm just thinking one of those big textbooks that you might buy for a class, a hardcover textbook, I'd say is usually around $200. And say you're taking 5 classes and you had to buy one of those for every class, I would say you might end up spending a little bit more than $700 depending on the course you're taking. So I'm going to go with false because I think you spend more money on textbooks. Let's see. Okay, so the answer is true. The average student spends about $773 yearly on textbooks. And you know what? A lot of students don't realize that paying for university involves more than just paying tuition. There are many, many other costs involved in going to university or college. You also have to factor in things like food, housing costs, tuition, of course, books, and lab fees. These are all additional costs on top of your yearly tuition costs. And when you think about it, books alone could cost over $3,000 by the time you are finished your degree. My goodness, that is so much money. Now, the average cost of tuition for a student who is choosing to live off campus is about $19,500. This includes things like transportation, housing, food, and all additional costs that come along with living off campus. You also want to consider things like extracurriculars and fun events that you don't want to miss out on if you are a student. Now, the overall cost will certainly vary depending on your situation and whether you decide to live on campus or at home. Every student's situation is certainly going to be different. It's also going to vary depending on what city you choose to live in, because some cities are a lot more expensive than other cities. It's just important to remember that when you are choosing to become a student, that there are more additional costs than simply paying tuition. There are many other costs involved in being a student, and it should be something that is taken quite seriously. Now, if you're nervous about the cost of tuition, which some students are, it's a good idea to start saving early. You can also look into scholarship funds, government aid, and if there are any grants or student funding that are available in your area. It's also great to look into any private scholarship funds that you might qualify for. Most often, this information can easily be found online, or you could simply contact your school's financial aid department. And I'm sure that they'd be happy to walk you through the process of applying for all of the financial aid that is available. Take advantage of it because, as we noted, university can be quite an expense. Okay, question number 3. Only 11% of Canadian undergraduates study abroad. Now, this is a really interesting question because I feel like there are a lot of opportunities to study abroad in different universities these days. So let me think about that. I'm going to, even though there are a lot of opportunities, I think I'm going to say that is true because I'm not sure that everyone takes advantage of those opportunities. Okay, let's check the answer. Okay, so we were right. It was true. Only 11% of undergraduate students choose to take advantage of studying abroad or doing a volunteer or internship program in another country. What's more, only 10% of students choose to study out of province. And I think that is such an interesting number. I'm super surprised to hear that only 10% of students choose to go to another province. The number one destination for study abroad students is the United Kingdom. That's quite interesting. And another top 3 locations where students choose to study abroad are Australia, France, and Germany. All wonderful places to travel. Okay, question number 4. And this is a really interesting one. International students make up 3% of enrollments at Canadian post-secondary institutions. This is a tough one. Okay, 3%. I'm really not sure. I feel that might be right. Okay, I'm gonna go with true. Okay, let's see what it is. I got it wrong. It's false. Okay, so in 1997, international students made up only 3% of post-secondary enrollments in Canadian universities. That is super interesting. Okay, so 97, that's quite a while ago. And in 2017, that number increased to 12%. So it went from 3% to 12%. So it seems like a lot of people are coming to Canada to enroll in university. In fact, international students are enrolling at a faster pace than Canadian students in Canadian universities. Canada is becoming a more and more attractive location for folks overseas, which is wonderful. Ontario, followed by British Columbia and Quebec, are home to 80% of Canada's international students. Wow, that is amazing. While the highest number of international students come from China, the fastest growing group of international students is from India. Okay, here we are on our final question, question number 5. And this will be an interesting one as well. There are more male students than female students enrolled in Canadian post-secondary institutions. Okay, this is a big question. Let's see. I'm going to go with true. I feel like it may have changed because I feel like that's a statistic that I heard a few years ago, but I'm still going to go with true. False! Oh my goodness. Okay, so as of 2017, women continued a 10-year streak of outnumbering male students in post-secondary institutions. They make up 56% of all enrollments in Canadian institutions. That's incredible. Go girls. Woohoo! Great job. Women accounted for 74% of those enrolled in education and health-related fields. Men, however, accounted for 73% of those enrolled in disciplines like architecture, engineering, math, and computer sciences. Whew, that was a lot of information. How did you guys make out? Did you get any right? I feel like I was 50-50. I got some right and some wrong. I can't even remember which ones I got right or wrong. Were you surprised by any of the answers? Higher education is changing rapidly. Tuition is on the rise. There are more students enrolling in post-secondary education, and the areas of interest or areas of study are becoming increasingly diverse. So how does this affect young Canadians who are hoping to gain access to post-secondary education and get a degree? Well, for one thing, the traditional educational experience is going to look different for everyone. You might be living on campus, you might be living with your parents, maybe you choose to go to college, or maybe you're more of a university person. You might live in the city, you might work part-time, or maybe you use your spare time to get involved in activities or clubs on campus. The key to being successful in university is to find a learning environment that works for you. If you're interested in learning about some different college experiences and how they take shape differently for everyone, check out our Student Influencers podcast. On the podcast, we talk to students from around Canada and the USA about the ups and downs of college and university life. We discuss how they learn to balance their responsibilities around school, work, and also manage to have some hobbies and a bit of a social life. So guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video as much as I did. This was a super fun one, and I'm hoping that we'll manage to do it once again. So let us know if you enjoyed this video. Jump into the comment section and connect with us around these questions, and let us know if there were any that surprised you and how you did answering them. For more content from the Homework Help Show, make sure to follow us on social media. All of our information is linked and listed in the description box below, so make sure to check it out. And as always, jump into the comment section. We always love to hear from you. Connect with us on social media and let us know how many of the true and false questions you got right by using the hashtag AskHHG. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining me. As always, make sure to connect with us on social media. Talk soon and take care.